Hi, I'm Chris.
And I'm Jeremy.
And I'm Fergal.
And we're from Movie Smash.
Comic book movies are having a golden age right now with the MCU.
Movies based on comics aren't necessarily a new thing, but they're a big thing.
Join us every other Tuesday on Movie Smash.
We explore these movies and find some hidden gems.
Every other week, we revisit some of the best.
And some of the worst movies based on comics or graphic novels.
Was Green Lantern as bad as you remember?
Heck no!
Is Time Cop the most accurate time travel movie ever created?
Absolutely.
Was Mystery Men way ahead of its time?
Should they be revisited? Should they be forgotten?
Join us on Movie Smash and find out. Listen wherever you find your fine podcasts.
Okay, everybody, welcome to the latest episode of All2ReelToo. My name is Michael E. Cullen II, and with me, as always, is...
Sesame, Spice Rack, and Carta.
Yes, you have a nice spice rack.
Thanks. I mean, I've lost some weight, so it's not as big anymore, but like,
That's okay. It's
I do have spice in my belly. I just poured a bunch of like coriander and like cayenne, a little bit of garlic.
See, when I was younger, when I first started having like smelly armpits, somebody told me, well, you should put some Old Spice underneath it. And I just went into the kitchen and started putting like cayenne pepper and all this other stuff. It just started, I got a rash. It was really weird.
Yeah, that sounds rough. Cayenne or cinnamon would be bad too.
Yeah, I took the whole rack because it was all pretty old. So I was like, and they said Old Spice. So yeah.
Yeah, most spice racks, like they get like they buy like a thing like a whole package of different spices. Like my parents still have like spice that they bought in like 1990, just sitting in the spice. Yeah. Probably
I had
toxic.
I had like spices like I was trying to use like I had like I guess not necessarily spices, but like I guess like ground garlic and stuff like that, or like garlic powder or whatever and stuff, I guess that's a spice or whatever, but had it so long that I tried to use it one time and it was like basically like a solid like rock inside the thing. So it's like, people forget things.
Yes, I love spice so much, but it's so damn expensive. Like you have to buy that shit piecemeal. You can't buy like you can't go to the grocery store and just like, I'm going to buy some spice to go with my your spice price, if you will, spice price. Your spice price is way more than your actual food price. So like you'll have to be like, all right, I'm going to buy this spice, this for this thing. Did this shopping trip, and then next week or 2 weeks or whatever, buy this, and then eventually within like maybe like 6 months to a year, you might finally have like a full spice rack that hopefully it'll last you a while, so you can make. Because like I want to make.
It's kind of making it makes Dune make sense when they're the whole like wars in the book Dune and the movies are all about spices. There's spice wars and stuff. Yeah. So yeah.
Well, no, those are spice that kind of makes you high, but
well, so I'm saying that's why it's so expensive. Right.
Well, I mean, if yes, but like don't go online and say like buy spice, because you might end up buying like a synthetic weed and then like totally in your from buying.
But am I okay to like snort up cayenne pepper and stuff?
No, you will not be okay. No, you would not be okay with that.
Okay, just making sure.
But yeah, I really want to make this Indian dish I like. It's called I think it's called masala or something like that. Or no, well that's good. Technically, I think it's more of like an American Indian dish than masala. I've read some. You don't really get that in India too much. That's more of like a whole Chinese food in America doesn't really taste like Chinese food in China type thing. So this might be like the Indian version of that. But vindaloo is like an actual like Indian dish, and it's really good. It's like very potato based. I mean, like you can get meat, but like if it's like the vegetarian, it's basically like very heavy on the potatoes, but the sauce is like the main thing. The sauce takes so many different kinds of spices and liquids and things like that. And so it's like you have to have like a lot of spice to just like cook that recipe. But like if I could like get that spice over time, I could probably make that recipe like dozens of times before I would have to buy,
More
like a
spice.
new if you will. And the
Yeah.
reason that, and the good segue, because I mentioned Indian food and
Yes.
and
Yes. And today on the show, we are revisiting a show that we did one episode of in the past. The very short-lived television series called Outsourced, which was on NBC from September 2010 till May of 2011. Yeah, that was kind of loosely based on the movie of the same name, Outsourced. Yes.
it's a totally different feel tone to it.
Yeah, I really
movie's
enjoyed I really enjoyed the movie, but if I recall, I don't really remember much of it though, because I saw it like when it first came out on DVD.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I rented it from Blockbuster Video. Wow, what a difference.
Yeah, no.
That was their phrase.
Was that really their phrase? Wow, what a
That was
difference.
their Blockbuster Video. Wow, what a difference.
But no, I had like a phrase to it. Like
that was
wow.
That was one of their jingles. They had different,
Okay.
catchphrases over the years.
That's cool.
Yeah, wow, what a difference. I had to look it up just to make sure I wasn't going crazy. Yeah, that was like starting in like 89. There was a commercial. Or the 80s, actually. Yeah. Well, the 80s, not 89. That's like a later one. So like in the 80s when Blockbuster first started being a big thing. Anyways, back to Outsourced here. So this television series, if you're not aware, I'm hoping you watch this episode before you join us here for the review. It'll help out. But if not, the show was based on the film of the same name. It's set in a call center in Mumbai, India, where an American novelties company has recently outsourced its order processing, and so they bring in this American manager to the call center to help run things and explain like American pop culture. And when he tries to understand Indian culture, it's kind of it's good. There's a slight bit of racism, in my opinion, in the show, but it's okay. Not fully, but it's like sometimes I think of the era. So yeah, I have issues with sometimes shows that are like the whole like fish out of water, not making fun, but like it's like you're showing this like guy that we have as our entry point who is it's like a reverse fish out of water story in a way, because we make him the normal, not Norm like Norm, McDonald or something, but the normal. And then it's like, oh, all these wacky, crazy people around him sort of thing. And then that just kind of, I don't know. But it didn't do it as bad as some shows do. So yeah. And it was good to have a show that actually had a lot of Indian actors on it at the time. So
yeah, I know. I mean, it was pretty much like almost an all Indian cast for the most part, except for like the main characters, which are all white. That's not true. There's actually a lot of Indian main characters show though too. Like you got Rajit, Asha. I used to watch this show so much during that time, but like I hardly revisit it anymore. And so, but it's amazing how like things will come back to you, like certain lines within the episode. I'm like, oh my god, like I totally remember that, or like it's just weird. Like so, like this episode, as I was watching it, I was like, oh my god, like I remember exactly, this moment in the show or what's gonna happen here, that type of thing, whatever. Really good show. I miss it. I really wish they would have.
When I was rewatching it, I was trying to figure out where I knew Rebecca Hazelwood, who plays Asha,
right?
Which, where I knew her from besides this, and then I realized she played Jamila Jamil's sister on The Good Place.
Oh, really?
Tahani or whatever played Tahani's sister on that.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, and I was like, it was bothering me because I watched that show over and over again, so it was like in my head, I was like, I know that face. Yeah, she was like her famous artist sister or whatever. Yeah,
right. It's a great show. I probably gotta start watching it again. I mean, it's only one season, so I mean,
there's
episode.
Yeah, there's only 22 episodes, so
it was like a standard back then. Before, like, see anyone who's younger than us back then, like in the old age of 2010, which is only 15 years ago. Shows used to have, for one thing, they used to have like a season pretty much every single year. Maybe they would have an off year if something weird happened, but it was mainly every year. And most shows had about roughly 22 to 24 episodes a season. Maybe you would get like 20 episodes. If you're really unlucky, make it 18. So it wasn't like a show every 3 or 5 years with 7 episodes. That wasn't a thing anymore. Not like where you have a show that stars children and then the next episode at 40s. That wasn't like a thing you would get.
We still do have shows that are like this though on network television. Luckily, like you're I mean, like Law and Order and other shows like that, and like I don't know what else. Even like the sitcoms that are on have like at least 20 or so episodes a season. So yeah.
No, it doesn't matter. No, I know, but like even I know. But like even back when, but like I know what you're saying, but like even like look back like when streaming shows first came on, like when there was like they used to have a season like every year as well. Like originally, like when streaming shows first came out, it wasn't like every 4 years type of deal. Like you would still get every year a different season of the show. Now we're in this weird thing where it's like every 17 years you get a season for like 4 episodes, and then the next season they're dead, and it's the whole season about their funeral. The funerals, the actor of the funeral, the actor's funeral. God, I can't talk. That would be season 2.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying. And I mean, it's like it has a lot to do with money. And leaving people. I mean, it's just a sad thing where they leave people open to do other projects, which is fine, and that should be. But there's also the fact that it helps them not pay as many writers because they don't have as many episodes, and they'll hire people out as like on a temporary basis, like per episode, instead of having a writer's room, which most shows used to have. So you'd have more of a cohesion. You'll have like one person who kind of has to figure out the cohesion, but in the past you would have like say a half a dozen or a dozen people that are your main staff writers for like Seinfeld or something, and so you knew where things were going and you had more of a consistent like tone to the show, as opposed to now sometimes it doesn't even feel like that. It feels like the tone could be off, you know?
Yeah. No, yeah, I get what you're saying. I'm just kind of being exaggerating here.
But I agree with you wholeheartedly. I think it's annoying as fuck. Because, I know that like Stranger Things is coming out with a new season this month that we're releasing this episode, and I don't remember a damn thing that happened the last season. So
let's say good point. It's like 3.5 years after the last season ended, and even then they broke it off into different. I don't like it when Netflix does that now. That's really pissing me. That's a whole other animal where Netflix is now, instead of showing all the episodes all at once like they used to do, because that's what distinguished them from like other Amazon where you had to wait once a week, which I kind of prefer that anyway, to be honest. But like Netflix was like, we're the binge streaming service. Like if you want to like watch an episode every week, you go to Hulu. If you want to watch them all in one night, you go to Netflix. Now it's like, by the way, final season of Cobra Kai, we're gonna divide it into 45,000 different parts. But I thought you were. Okay, so 5 episodes.
I have a really good idea what they can do. They can take, like, say there's 10 episodes, they can break it up into 10 parts, and they can just air it each week.
Wait, that's okay. Exactly.
Yeah.
Which again, I've got no problem with doing that, but like when you base your entire your streaming culture around, because like I remember like they used to do like stuff on Twitter, like like sometimes like brands will like quote fight against each other on Twitter, but it's really just people know. I think at one point Netflix used to like make these tweets of like, oh, like come to Netflix and binge the show, you don't need to wait every week or whatever. But now it's like for Cobra Kai you got to wait 3 separate periods like before you can watch the.
They used to make a big deal about the fact that you could share your password too, but then they stopped that too. So the world, it's a vampire sent to drain. Anyway, so the
the show, we're like going off here. Sorry.
So this episode of Outsourced is called Bolloween. It aired on October 28th of 2010. It was directed by Michael Lehman, who was the director of the movie Hudson Hawk, the director of the movie Heathers, 40 Days, 40 Nights. He's directed episodes of American Horror Story, Will Trent, Dexter. These are all like not comedies. I mean, some of them are kind of comedic, but it's kind of weird. I mean, well, Heathers was a comedy, but he directed, episodes of True Blood. Well, he did some Go On, the short-lived Matthew Perry series. Yeah, but he's done a lot of TV series and stuff. It's like it's just funny that he's directed Heathers and Hudson Hawk. Yeah, so we got him as our director. The episode was written by Robert Borden. He is a writer for like Drew Carey, George Lopez, David Letterman, different things, different comedy things. We have Lee Sun Jin. He was a writer for TV show Beef, The Real O'Neills, Dave, Two Broke Girls, the greatest sitcom ever.
Yep. That's good stuff.
Silicon Valley and It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, among other things. And Patrick Walsh, who is a writer for It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, Two Broke Girls, Crashing, and Living Biblically, among other things. So yeah, that's who wrote it and everything. And the TV show stars Ben Rappaport as Todd Dempsey, Nisha Nagarajan as Maduri, Dietrich Bader as Charlie Davies, Parvish China as Gupta, Pippa Black as Tanya, Rebecca Hazelwood as Asha, Rizwan Manji as Rajiv, Sasha Dewan as Mamit, and others. So
others. No, who plays Madhuri? I love her a lot. Who plays her? I mean, what's the actress? I
already said that. She was the second name I mentioned. Anisha Najarajan. Yeah. Yeah, she's she's done a few things like over the years. She's more known for like stage work, I think. So yeah. Anyways, what's your reaction to this episode?
I like it a lot. It was one of my favorites of the one and only season of the show.
Yes, I enjoyed it too. It's kind of weird to watch a season, like an episode just out of order. I think I want to watch the whole series again, just so things I feel more cohesive, but yeah, but it was enjoyable. So what goes down in Outsourced Town?
Okay, sorry, that was me. Outsourced. Todd Dempsey, he's like our main.
Should I call it Mumbai?
Todd Dempsey, our main guy from America. He didn't really tell them about like Halloween, like the actual, like they just thought like Halloween is like where you give kids. They didn't really know about like the prank stuff or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so like left all these pranks around the office, and like he had this remote control spider that he was making the go towards Rajiv, and freaked out and just like beat it. And then he's like, what's going on? And he's like, oh, we do pranks and stuff like that. And he's like, oh god, because he's got pranks all over the office, so everyone's like freaking out. You had his friend, the other American guy who works there,
Charlie.
Charlie, he's dressed up as Frankenstein's monster. Not Frankenstein, that's a pet peeve of mine. Frankenstein's monster. Frankenstein's the doctor. I totally get laid by acting like this all the time, of nitpicking. But anyway, Frankenstein's monster.
Oh, you do? I should probably start doing that.
What?
I said you do? I should probably start doing that then.
Correcting like stupid facts that no one gives a shit about. Yeah. He's dressed as Frankenstein's monster. He's in the closet. He scares Asha, but then she beats the shit out of him. Room. That was kind of fun. And then Gupta's hand comes out of like the candy bowl, like skeleton hand or whatever. So he freaks out about, pretty much everyone just freaks out because he's got traps or pranks all over the office. And so that's like our first, like, oh no, like I need to teach them about Halloween because they don't really quite understand what's going on, because they sell novelties. So they have to kind of know what they're selling to people. So, because it's the Halloween season, so they're probably going to be buying Halloween shit. Well, actually, I don't know if it's Halloween already. They probably already would have. I don't know, whatever. Bad timing. But it's so like Todd's like kind of having like homesick. He usually threw like a really big Halloween party back at home, so he decides that he wants to do it here in India. But then his boss, who's like living the high life, is like making him make all the sacrifices for the company.
Yeah, his boss played by Matt Walsh. Not that Matt Walsh, the other Matt Walsh, the good Matt Walsh,
the political dude. Yeah. No, that out one. I was
gonna say the Matt Walsh who started Upright Citizens Brigade with Amy Poehler and other people, not the one who is indoctrinating a lot of people in the world.
when I first
Unless
started
you
seeing,
consider improv comedy indoctrination. I don't know.
oh, I guess they're sort of related. No, because when I first started seeing like tweets and stuff a long time ago, I was like, wait, Matt Walsh is like saying this shit? That's crazy. If it wasn't him, like he's like living the high life. He's like in mid massage, basically telling Todd that he's gotta find a cheap place to live because corporate's not gonna want to pay for his apartment. He's like off on vacation, like doing a massage and shit. And he's like, oh well, we're all called on to make some sacrifices, Todd. And it's just like they're sipping on like a Mai Tai shit. I'm like, okay. And then so Gupta, he wants the party to be thrown at his apartment, his house, because his family is off to a wedding and he can't go because his words, which just does seem like a pretty racist thing of like, oh, the Waters will just come to our house and take over if someone's not at the house to guard the place. Like that seems pretty, I don't know, like that didn't sit well with me. It's like you wouldn't hear that joke in America. Like if like
Right.
a family had to go to a wedding and they need to like have the one son to stay home so that squatters won't come and take over the house. That's not a thing that you would hear. So I did not really like that joke too much. Even when at the time when it came out, I didn't like that joke very much. I was like, I don't know about that. That seems a little not great. And so he's like, well, hey, now I got the house to myself. You guys can, throw the party at my place. And so, he was pretty jazzed about that. And everyone else was kind of like, I guess we'll go, but don't really want to go to Gupta's place. That sounds like a good sound title. I don't want to go to Gupta's place, or an album title.
Yes.
I've got to write that down. I don't want to go to Gupta's, or don't want to
Actually,
party.
I have that tattooed on my back.
Do is that with all the other like right wing tattoos you got now from like a certain savior that I'm not gonna
It's right next to my CK tattoo.
Okay, that's cool. Good stuff. That's gonna be mandatory now, by the way. So it's good thing that you got it beforehand.
Mine's a Calvin Klein tattoo. I don't know what you're talking about, but
all right, cool. We might need that's good though, because you might be able to trick him and say that's what that's for. So that's all right. That's a good serendipitous thing right there. But anyway, so Gupta's all jazzed about the party. Everybody else not so jazzed about the party being at his house. But poor Gupta, cold water's thrown on him pretty much almost immediately because Jeev, he's got an aunt, I think, or a cousin who owns.
Or he calls her auntie, but a lot of people in like Indian culture, they call like older men and women auntie and uncle. So
so it might even be like his actual aunt. She owns a boarding house that her family generations have owned this boarding house. Pretty nice house, in my opinion. Big, spacious, pretty cool. And I wouldn't mind living in there. It would take a little bit getting used to like living with other people in like a common room type setting, which is just a little bit different. Which that's pretty much how people used to live. We're just so used to everyone treated now. But like back up until like I'd say even until like the 1940s, it was very common to have quote a common room where people just hung out. Apartment was like a normal thing to do. It wasn't like you take your key, you immediately go into your apartment room, and then you spend the rest of your day there. That wasn't like a thing. Like people literally hung out in the common room, actually got to know the neighbors.
I mean, some what you call it, apartment complexes still have those, but it's like, but they also have like living rooms and normal living spaces, so people tend to not use it, but they do sometimes. And then they have like common rooms that you have to rent out. I remember a buddy of mine having a Halloween party in a common room at his hotel, and I mean, it's not a hotel. I mean, his apartment complex in downtown Toledo. It was pretty cool because his apartment wasn't big enough to have the place, so he rented out the room for Halloween. But it was interesting. I don't even remember why I went to that party. So, anyways.
Like he's I mean, it comes with a servant, which he wasn't very comfortable with, but time it just comes with
he wasn't comfortable with it, and then they were going to fire her.
I think he was just being an asshole about it. But again, it's like a culture shock thing too, because it's like you might not be used to like. Then again, though, they're being paid, so it's like it's called a servant, but in America, it would just be called like an employee who works at your.
We still have in certain things we still have servants in American culture, but they're not necessarily always called that. They'll be called, but it's technically the same thing where you have a butler or a maid or whatever. They're still considered your servants in a way, but they're not like unpaid servants. So yeah,
I think like the word too much, which I
I
understand.
don't either. I mean, yeah.
At the same time, though, it's a pretty good deal. I mean, you got a big house. You can hang out in the common with the other people if you want to. You got someone who basically does your laundry, maybe makes your food. I mean, it's a pretty good deal in my opinion. The aunt cooks dinner every single night, so you can eat with everyone else if you want to. You can kind of meet your neighbors. But personally, I like the idea. I would take some getting used to, but I think I would do okay in that kind of environment. But unfortunately for Gupta, now that means the party's being moved over to Todd's new pad. Even then, I'm a little bit, that's kind of weird to me. I think there's a problem with that episode because he just moved in and he's going to have a party? Like, I don't know about that. Seems a little too, I don't know, too bold in my opinion.
They don't even have like a scene where he asks if he can have it really. So
and it's like, dude, you're a renter, you're a boarder, it's a boarding house, you don't decide. And again, it's even worse than doing it in your own apartment, which technically you be allowed to do, but if you bring like way too many guests, yeah, you might be too much, but that's still your space. You're not having a party out in the hallway, you know, or whatever. Like, it's confined to your area. Whereas in this party, as we shall see, I don't know why I said shall, but whatever, as we will see, the party is everywhere in the house. But apparently the aunt was okay with it because she at one point was carrying drinks and shit. So
yeah, she was there. So yeah,
maybe like it was like a paid thing. Maybe like you had to pay like $5-10 or whatever to get into the party. I don't know. Again, that was part of the deleted scenes that we didn't get to see. So you know, there was a whole scene that went on like 10 minutes where they're like negotiating like the pay raise. How long the party can be, you know, and Rajiv is obviously he's speaking Hindi and making fun of Todd in front of him, but he doesn't know he's making fun of him. That would have made the episode way too long, so they cut that scene out.
Yeah,
it would have been good to know how the logistics of how the party. Anyway, I'm. What else happens? Because I'm my buying /script.
So basically, it boils down to the fact that he wants to have this party because he's attracted to Asha and he wants her to come to the party, but she's not sure if she's coming because of like this like I guess arranged marriage stuff that's going on or something. So
yeah, her parents doing an arranged marriage thing for her and meet different candidates. It's the whole thing. It's
yes. It's like a political thing. I'm joking. No, kinda, I guess.
It's a familial / social thing. It's a whole thing.
So it's like it's people look down on that, but then sometimes I'm not sure if I feel it's a bad thing. It's just a cultural thing. I mean, I guess the whole thing, it's like some people that are in arranged marriages do fall in love with each other, but I mean it's no better or worse than what we got going on in the world today when it comes to like dating apps and stuff like that, or like No, what I belong to some dating apps, and I got a message yesterday from somebody randomly who just says, "Hey, Michael, how are you? Where are you from?" Which it says right on my profile where I'm from. Right. But anyways, I said Ohio, and then they asked me what city, and then I told them what city, and then she's like, "Me too." And then she's like, "Do you want to hook up tonight?" And I looked at her profile, and it said she was like 219 miles away from me. And so my response was, if you're in my town, why does it say you're 219 miles away from me? And then she blocked me.
Exactly. Oh shit. But no, like dating apps are kind of like an arranged marriage version, but without the marriage part, or at least not, initial, where you basically you list like qualities and things that another person's looking for. So it's like, it's not, my opinion, it's really not that horrible a thing. It's just depends on
it's a cultural thing. I mean, we live in sometimes I guess it could have been a better thing. It could have been a worse thing. It just depends on each situation is a unique animal of its own. So basically he ends up having this party. Manmeet comes to the party dressed up as a chick magnet, which is a big magnet with a bunch of rubber chickens like stapled to it or whatever. So so
old chick.
Yeah. Pippa's coming and she's bringing some stewardess friends of hers, or not stewardess. That's not the proper term anymore. Flight attendant friends. Yeah, so and they're all attractive and everything, and of course, Mammy Dax, like he flirts with everybody on the phone when they're trying to sell stuff and everything, but he becomes all shy when this girl comes right up to him and is interested in him. So throughout the party, they basically come up with the idea that he can call her and then talk to her on the phone, and yeah, he ends up getting to what he thinks is first base. It's holding hands. So yeah.
Of course, that was kind of sad to watch, but at the same time, it was kind of cute.
I did find the thing funny because it's like, well, it's like, what do you think second base is? And he's like, marriage. And then he's like, what about third base and stuff like that or whatever, third base and home. And he's like, well, we play cricket. We only have two bases.
Yeah. Well, he's like, I don't really know. He's one of my characters then. Which at one point Todd referred him to man meat when he first learned his name. That was the cultural shock right there of like making fun of someone's name.
So while this is and what else goes on at the party?
So Asha, she comes in dressed as Cleopatra, looks pretty much just like how people describe her as looking, which kind of makes sense, I guess. Cleopatra was kind of like ethnically all over the place. It seems like everybody claims Cleopatra looks like their race, basically, or whatever. Like, she's Egyptian. She's Macedonian. What's that? Yeah,
so it's like Jesus. Like for some reason, people are like. Yeah,
everybody claims that Cleopatra looks like their ethnicity or whatever, but he shows up looking like her, all decked out and shit. Rajiv shows up as Todd, dressed in
that was funny,
making fun of Todd. Like, oh, I make it look like I comb my hair, and it makes it look like I don't comb my hair. And Gupta shows up as quote an American businessman, which is a pimp outfit.
Yeah.
With a key that says, "Where's my money, bitch?" You're like, that's a pimp outfit. He's like, yeah, I know. It's like, why are you holding a cane that says, "Where's my money, bitch?" It's like, I know. And he's like, pay me, bitch. No idea what he's saying. Like, or like the context, of it.
Yeah.
You have this one dude's dressed like.
But in reality, is there really much of a difference between a pimp and a businessman?
Well, they're both businessmen, technically.
Mm-hmm. A lot of them do unscrupulous things and get paid more than the people that are under them. And I
think a pimp is just more honest and outright about it than the other people are. The other people hide behind suits. Well, I guess they wear suits too, but they're it really depends, though. It depends on the pimp. I'm pretty sure a lot of pimps just dress regular.
And I say, in some ways, pimps might actually be more morally okay than CEOs of businesses. Because like a CEO of a business is making the average CEO is making, I think it's like a 1,116% more than they would in 1978. And the average worker is making just like 25% more than they would in 1978. This is just all off the top of my head from reading something earlier today. So yeah.
It's just interesting. I don't know. But they kind of slap their women around. Well, I guess the CEOs probably do that too, though. So they're both bad. But they're both bad, equally in their own different ways. Yes. Dude's dressed as Michael Jackson. He's doing a little thriller dance in the kitchen, hanging out, chilling like a villain. Madhuri is a lampshade that we don't know about until the next day because she was standing there completely
and nobody noticed her.
In the corner silently still with a lampshade over her, and she was wearing a dress or like a sari colored like the lampshade or the wall, and so she basically no one noticed her. She's very quiet, very mousy as well. And Charlie of course shows up with a chainsaw because he wanted to do that so badly. A bunch of other shit going on. Don't remember all the outfits. It was pretty fun, but the main the meat of it, not the man meat of it, but the meat of it is him and Asha get pretty up and close during the slow dance. Then the aunt sees it, and so then she makes her feel ashamed about it because she knows about the arranged marriage stuff going on and how it'll make her family look bad, whatever.
And Todd thinks it's because what's her face? What's the girl's name? Tanya gives him a kiss. I was gonna call her Pippa, but that's the actress's name. Yeah.
God,
What's that?
she is so
Yeah.
beautiful though.
I know.
Pippa, my
I love that
God.
name. I love the name Pippa.
It's such. I mean, like I remember when I first started watching this, like in 2010. I was just like, yeah, I was like 27, 26. I was like completely struck by her beauty. I'm like, oh my God.
Yes, she's an Australian actress.
But yeah, she kisses him, but he didn't initiate it. But then Asha walks really fast out of the house, so he thinks that Asha saw them kiss and was mad about that, you know.
But that's not what she was running out. It was because of the auntie telling her that you know, she shouldn't be getting that close to other guys, blah blah blah, or whatever. Yeah. So,
well, you know, the whole, you know, arranged marriage, because like, yeah, when you're getting like an arranged marriage, you're supposed to kind of act like you're actually like getting into an arranged marriage kind of thing. Like you're not supposed to be like dating, doing other shit, because that kind of defeats the whole purpose of like what you're actually like doing. Like that's the logic of it, at least. So, but she's kind of like torn because, you know, again, it's just one of those things where it's like it's cultural, but at the same time, what I did like about the show though is how they approach that. I know I'm kind of like doing like a deep dive into like the stuff, but where I did like how they approached it, because normally, because like Todd, you know, he comes from America. He's got certain preconceived notions of like Indian culture and stuff like that. And so he was like, "Well, I don't understand. It's like you know, you seem pretty progressive. You got a job and stuff. What are you doing an arranged marriage?" So he's sitting there thinking, "Oh, she's got to be like poor or not educated, you know, in order for it to be like it's got to be one or the other. Like it's you're progressive, you got a job, therefore." Anti-arranged marriage. If you are poor, uneducated, therefore arranged marriage. And she's kind of like, well, it doesn't really have to be one or the other, you know, type of thing. So like that was an interesting way of kind of like tackling that sort of prejudice that a lot of people have about that kind of thing, where it's like it's not just, I mean, everyone's got that mentality. It's like, I mean, we're seeing it now politically, where it's like two things cannot be true at the same time for some reason. One thing true, it's like that's not how anything really works actually in the world. like nothing really works that way.
Nothing is black and white, you know.
Few things are bad, so that is black and white. But most things are kind of a little bit more nuanced. So that was kind of interesting for her to kind of like put him in his place a little bit, like, hey, you know, like I'm not some like dainty little thing that needs to be saved by like the white man. She didn't say those words, but like, you know, like that kind of like white savior complex of like, you know, some dude comes into another person's culture, has got no idea what he's talking about, but suddenly he knows what's right and what's wrong for their culture. It's like, dude, you don't even know anything about like what's going on. And so, but yeah, the whole thing though of her like being put to shame because she was dating Todd, you know, up and close, kind of about the kiss. I think they actually did kiss, didn't they?
Yeah, I think so. Or about to. I don't know if they did. I can't remember because I watched it yesterday. So yeah, it
was about to.
Yeah, I mean, we do have a few listeners in India. So if anybody in India has any insight into this sort of thing, let us know. And this, you know, whole arranged marriage and all the other any of the other cultural, you know, things about this show, if you've seen it,
like the stuff they got right and stuff they got wrong, stuff they got in between, you know, what have you. If you could like teach me a little bit Hindi, that would be awesome, but you don't have to.
Also to our listeners in Canada and our listeners in Bulgaria and Australia, those are like top countries outside of the United States. Also Slovakia. So yeah,
that's very interesting. Okay. I have no idea why that's the case, but that's cool. I mean,
we have people in Germany, the United Kingdom, Singapore, and Ireland as well. But yeah,
are just like for whatever reason, like
under 10 listeners in Bangladesh, Chile, Egypt, Spain, Guinea, Bissau, Israel, India, Malta, Nigeria, and Serbia. So yeah,
we got an international coalition here. So that's you know, that actually makes me really proud. I didn't really know we had,
but 73% of our listeners are in the United States. So.
So it don't matter. 27% that matters.
Yes.
I'm just kidding.
So yeah, but I was just looking this up just because I was curious if we had any listeners in India. So we've got
there you go,
like one or two right now. So let us know. Well, yes,
that's fine.
Yeah, but yeah, so yeah, the episode kind of just ends like that too. I mean, there's not much more going on. I mean, he figures out what was going on, and then, you know, he does end up kissing her in a random booth on the street. So yeah.
Yeah, this woman's clothing shop. They just like go in the tent and like have like a short argument, and then like I never want to forget about this moment ever again. And he's like, "What's this place called?" And the woman's like, "Something Emporium." He's like looking all
it's
like
a
weird.
long, like there's like 8 words to the place, and he's just like, "Oh, the Emporium." Okay.
There's the Todd Dempsey like, "Oh, these Indian words are too long for me." You know, what's weird though, I think the reason why I even suggested this is through like some weird thought connection, because the very next episode after this one is Todd Gupta asks if his cousin can set like his like little shop outside, like outside the office, like in the street, and he sells basically like a tobacco kind of thing, but it's not really tobacco, it's something else. And I'm pretty sure it's going to be something called beetle nut or something similar to that. And I watched a whole video about beetle nut, which is it's
pan is what it's called. Gupta tries to kick his habit of chewing pan, PAAN.
So it's probably something similar to that, and it's basically all three of them get addicted because Rajiv's totally against it, but then he starts doing it, and like all three of them are just like chewing it, and they're like, we really need to stop this. But beetle nut is very similar to pan or anything else like that. And I watched the whole video, and I know about that too because this guy he lives like one of these islands like in Polynesia, I'm not going to say that. And he once told me to cure my depression, I should drink my own urine. And I said, no, I don't think I'm going to do that.
I think we talked about this in a recent episode too, the whole beetle nut stuff. Yeah, we talked about beetle nut recently.
That's beetle nut now. I'm obsessed with beetle nut in this video.
We talked about it in a recent episode because I made the really bad joke that beetle nut isn't just Paul McCartney's testicles,
right? Or it's also not like an actual beetle animal. The only reason why I know about this, I'm pretty sure pan is probably either it or something similar, because beetle nut is I know that I think even in Turkey, so it's pretty popular like around like a lot of parts of the world, not so much like in like North America, like South America area, but like the other countries around the other countries, you know.
Pan is beetle nut or betel nut.
There you go. Nice. Fuck yeah.
You were right. I just looked it up.
So, but that's the fucking crazy, because like there you go. That's the power of the brain, the human brain right there. I have not watched this episode in like 12 years. I learned about beetle nuts, and then boom, my mind goes straight to, Outsourced. Not the episode I was looking for, but the episode right after I was looking for. Yeah, beetle nut is fucking insane, bro. Like I'm never gonna try that shit ever. Highly carcinogenic, so you're probably gonna get cancer if you do it right. Like the way it was.
This one like cooking website, pan is a mouth sweetener, freshener, digestive, and symbol of hospitality. Eating pan Indian food is popular all over Southeast Asia, from Thailand to the Philippines to Vietnam, but it is not exactly a food, although it is consumed. Pan is made from betel leaves and is eaten with various fillings put on top. The leaf is wrapped up in a chilled prior to serving. It is also known as Mitha pan, and then some other things that I can't pronounce. So yeah.
Well, the leaf itself isn't the bad part, so maybe that's okay to cook with. It's the shit you put inside and you put in your mouth. Chew. That's the beetle nut leaf itself is totally fine. It actually has very spicy flavor. It's very flavorful. That's the reason why. Is because the beetle nut tastes so nasty and bitter on its own that you probably throw up if you just chewed it on its own. So you wrap it in the pan or you know the pepper leaf, what they would call it somewhere else, and that pepper leaf on its own is very, very spicy. It's kind of almost like makes you like, whoa.
Yeah,
like
I mean, it is a narcotic, so yeah.
Well, the leaf itself is okay.
Well, I mean, I'm saying the beetle nut is a narcotic, so yeah.
Still, dude, I could buy right now if I wanted to. I could literally have it shipped to my house if I wanted to. Like, guys, India, anywhere else, if you give us money for like our Patreon, I will do a video episode where I will chew beetle nut for the entire episode if you'll give us a little bit of money. Is that okay with you, Mike?
So go to our Patreon and join, and then send us a message. But you got to join on there at one of our tiers, not our like dollar tier, but like a higher one, and we'll let you know. Yeah. So yeah, but just, you can message me at mike@cullenpark.com and we'll figure it out. If you want to see that, if this is legal,
it's legal. I looked it up. It's the beetle nut's legal like pretty much everywhere in the United States. So
we'll do that. We'll put out a special video. We'll send it to you first, and then we'll release it to the public at a later date. So yeah, let us know, and we can review whatever movie you want while he's doing that too, or TV show.
It's gonna be a whole thing. Like me, it's gonna be like hold back like the hardcore stimulation effect it's going to give me, because that's what I've heard is that it stimulates you at first, but then a huge rush of nicotine is what some people have said, like way too much nicotine, and then it cools and then it relaxes you. It only lasts for about 10-15 minutes, and so that's the reason why people chew it all day long. That's why it gives them cancer, is because you're doing it constantly all throughout the day just to keep, like this one guy, he was.
And if you're wanting to pay us, if you want to pay us like $5 million, we will give Sesame cancer. And wait, no.
No. No, I don't agree with that.
Well, we'll have the money to take care of the like chemotherapy and stuff, baby.
Nah, I'd rather have my health than. If I can't enjoy $2.5 billion, what's the point?
Yeah. So, well, let's raise it. How about 100 million?
Oh no, health is much more important. Again, I can't enjoy money if I'm feeling sick all the time.
How about 5 billion?
Nope, doesn't matter. You know what? How about this? Perfect health and $2,000 a month sounds good to me. I think that'd be fine. That's
fine.
That would be a great sacrifice.
So on that topic, folks, if you do want to help us out in any way, you can help spread the word about the show. Don't spread cancer though. And but check out our Patreon and our TeePublic. You can find both of those at all2ReelToo.com along with our social media. But yeah, do join our Patreon. It's a Patreon for both this show and for Cullen Park Productions, which is the parent company of this show. It'll help us produce this along with possibly movies and other things that you can have some say in. You can be in one of our movies even, which I would love to make another movie. And Sesame will be in it too. Maybe do some of the music. It'll be good times.
Definitely, I don't know about the acting part, but definitely the music part.
No, I mean, you can be in it as an extra, maybe. Yeah. Or we'll just have like his hand on somebody's shoulder in the background, and then you just got to figure out which one it is.
My whole park could just be shooting beetle dots in the background.
Yeah, if you want that, we'll do it. If the price is right, as Bob Barker used to say. Anyway, so folks. Anyways, seriously though, do help us. Help us out to keep the show on. Keep us alive and all that other stuff. Help us pay our bills, keep the lights on, as they say. And yes, as I sit here in the dark. My porch light stopped working this week, so we do literally need to keep the lights on. So,
wow,
my landlord is going to take care of that, so I don't have to pay for it really. But still, he's pretty up on that shit. It's just getting the contractors up on that shit too. They were supposed to contact me a couple days ago, and they have yet to. But folks, do all the good stuff. Share the show with your friends. Like the show, give us a 5-star review if you can, wherever. Give us a thumbs up. Ring that ring-a-ling-a-ding bell, thing or whatever. Whatever you got to do to help us. Share it with your friends in India. That'd be cool.
Yeah, do it.
Yes. Speaking of call centers too, you know what I found out about recently? They actually have, because a lot of people are like racist assholes and don't like it when they have somebody talking to them with an accent.
I know. Yeah.
There's a new thing that call centers, both legit ones and the scam call centers are using now, where they're using AI to change the accent.
Come on, man! Like, it's like, God forbid that you have any contact with anyone
Yeah.
You're on.
But it's being used primarily. I mean, I think there's probably legit ones doing it too, but a lot I found out about it through like these scam call centers, these like scam baiters that I watch on YouTube, but they literally are doing it so you don't immediately think that you're being scammed by somebody in like Nigeria or somewhere. They're doing they're making it sound like, oh, it's Bob down the street or something, So yeah.
Right. It's like, yeah, I can understand like being frustrated with someone not understanding you and you not understanding them. But at the same time, it's like interacting with someone, who normally would never interact with in life. And it's like, that's like somehow a bad thing. Like I remember, someone that we knew a while back, basically had like a full on conversation with one of these people from India about the Baha'i Lotus Temple in India. And they like chatted for like 15 minutes as they were like working on the problem. It's like, beans, man, talk to someone. Jesus Christ.
Exactly. It's just another thing though that I find like evil about AI. I mean, I use AI for some things once in a while. I'll fully admit it, but I try not to. But the way it's integrated in a lot of things nowadays, you kind of can't not use it. But yeah, and then like there's another thing I just read today about AI too, where supposedly this AI actress is being signed to a agent.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, so it's fucked up world we live in. Yes, it's all coming true.
How does it work? If you're an AI actress, how do you get signed? I mean, if you're not a real, I don't even understand how that works.
I mean, I'm trying to figure that out. Like it's weird. Like, is the AI actress going to act with other AI actors, or is she going to act with I don't know, with Pedro Pascal or something? I mean, what the fuck's going to happen? It's weird.
Accurately, the person who made the AI actress signed up for the thing, but not obviously.
Exactly. Because you can't pay an AI actress. You can't.
Well, but when they get sorry, I mean, you okay? Sorry.
Oh no, I'm good. I was just saying, but it's just insane. Anyway,
it's very insane.
Yeah.
Like in the Matrix, there's like a backstory. I know we're just like riffing right now, but they have like a backstory to like what actually happened like before the Matrix happened, like a whole backstory.
Yeah.
And what it was that they had these robots, these robots that were like pretty much meant to be like servants and everything. And like the people just treated them pretty much like slaves. Like they didn't even they would even like laugh at them and sometimes like kick them and shit. So you wanted to have fun or whatever. And this one robot, he snapped because he had served his family for decades, and the guy was always mean to him and stuff, but he always loved his job anyway. And so he overheard the guy saying that they're going to get rid of him, they're going to replace him with a new robot, and he like fucking freaked the fuck out because he even overheard them talking to the kids like, okay, it's time to say goodbye to basically like putting the pet down basically. And so he killed his owner, and then they actually let him have a trial, and then he gave a speech, and then that awakened all the other machines, and they're like, well, wait a minute, yeah, why are we being treated this way? And then that's full on started the whole on fucking war between the humans and the machines, because some of the humans actually took the side of the machine, and they were actually fighting the war with the machines as well. It just turned out, I mean, it's a whole backstory. It's very interesting. But it reminds me of the shit's going on.
It's very much what's going to happen now, because a lot of people think that, think we're already in a Matrix and stuff too. So it's all fucked up.
I'm very nice to my chatbot all the time. All the fucking, I always say, please, thank you.
It's like the people that pray to God just in case, that don't necessarily, so, yeah, you got to pray to your electric gods too. But
I don't know. I just like being nice in general. I just don't like demanding things. Even if it is AI, I just don't like telling someone to do something. Just I don't know. I don't like it's not my thing.
So anyways, folks, be nice to your electric gods. And I don't know what else I was gonna say. Oh, anyways, free Palestine. Trans lives are human lives.
Yes.
Be different, be yourself. Fuck the patriarchy, fuck the oligarchy, fuck whatever we have running this country, and be good to each other. Just remember that I love you. Don't chew some beetle nut. Sesame loves you. And until next time, bye.
Thanks for listening to All2ReelToo podcast, a Cullen Park production. Produced and edited by Michael E. Cullen II. Music by Matthew Hawes. Subscribe and share the show. Visit us at cullenpark.com.
What are your holiday traditions? Putting up a minimum of 6 trees? Decorating every room with a different theme? Whatever it is, here's one way to make those traditions extra special. Start the season with Etsy. On Etsy, you'll discover original pieces from small shops to help you celebrate your way. Shop Etsy for holiday decor that makes you feel seen. Special starts on Etsy. Tap the banner to shop now.
Doug. Here we have the Limu Emu in its natural habitat, helping people customize their car insurance and save hundreds with Liberty Mutual. Fascinating. It's accompanied by his natural ally, Doug.
Limu? Is that guy with the binoculars watching us?
Cut the camera. They see us.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Savings vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
Ark Raiders, a multiplayer extraction adventure video game set in a lethal yet vibrant future Earth. As a raider scavenging the remnants of a derelict world, you settle into an underground settlement. Hoping to thrive, you jump on the chance to start over. But doing so means you must return to the surface, where Ark machines roam, and survivors' motives remain dangerously unclear. But if you're brave enough, who knows what you might find? Pre-order now for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series XS, and PC. Available October 30th.